can just write the names down so that there is no chaos. I will simply call the name for a person to speak. And the best way is to remain mute, but you can open your video just to see so that there is no collusion of voices. I think that is point number 2. Point number 3, I'm informed that our meeting will be joined by also public. If then that is the case, I must extend my greetings on behalf of the legislature to all those that are taking interest to participate in this program. It is quite important. It is quite important, honored members, to be viewed by the public doing our programming work, because this is the pillar of how things must function in the legislature. And those that are joining us for the first time, who are members of the public or interested stakeholders, must understand that this is how we are elucidating our programs, times, what is going to happen in the legislature, and this is the committee given the responsibility to deal with those particular matters. Therefore, they are free to observe the proceedings, and we will indicate if anyone would like to make a comment, but it will be important to indicate who he is or who she is. You are all welcome, honored members, and under these circumstances, I think everybody is quite aware that the numbers of COVID-19 are increasing every day. But I think as members of this provincial legislature and the work that we are doing in your constituencies will one day have an expression when we are deliberating our own observations of what is happening in the institutions of health and how are we assisting our people when it comes to comprehensive social security programs. There is a crisis of food now and people are losing their jobs. There is an increase in the queues of those that are claiming for insurance fund and whatever. So that is an indication that post this COVID, we will have to double our efforts to work diligently to give support to the executive, to private sector, so that we can propose alternative socio-economic platforms of which people are going to engage. There is an issue currently of schools, whether we open or not. I think members are going to be invited to provide clarity, to provide alternative ways of doing things. And I think we can't be absent in that debate. Courage. The meeting now is about to start. Everybody is welcome. I propose that let's remain within the confines of the rules of the legislature. There must be no movement unnecessarily and the noise, so that we are quick, very much quick in our session. Thank you very much. Can we go for the presentation of our apologies, Secretariat, please?
Thank you,
Ms. Hermans will take them.
Okay.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Good morning, Chairperson. Good morning to all the honorable members and to the colleagues. Chairperson, currently we have 9 members within the meeting and we have 2 apologies. No apologies from members though yet. We have an apology from Advocate Beja as well as Ms. Mene. Both of them are bereaved.
Thank you very much. I put the apologies on our members. And our members?
Agreed, Chairperson.
Yes.
I move for the adoption of the apologies.
Thank you very much.
I second, Deputy Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Moved and seconded. We take as they are, and I think please on our behalf, Maria, convey our condolences to the officials, relatives that has passed during this period. We'll go to item number 3, the adoption of the agenda. Honorable members, are you fine with what has been proposed and what we received via our emails?
Deputy Speaker.
Yes.
Deputy Speaker, I would like to move for the adoption of the agenda as is.
Thank you very much, Honorable Brockenroder. Moved. Any seconder?
I second him, Deputy Speaker. Good morning.
Good morning, and I don't see your face.
Hey, I'm afraid to show my...
Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Whip. I can see you are there and the sun is shining very much well. Honored members, can we go straight to the presentation? Honored Mr. Nechitumbu, you will fly it so that you walk us through, and I think we'll take discussion at the tail end. Mr. Nechitumbu, are you there?
Yes, Chair. I request that we adopt the 3 minutes first. We have 3 set of minutes that we have distributed.
Oh yes, sorry for that. Sorry for that. Can I get a sense that honored members have received the minutes, the last 3 sets of minutes of our last sessions, so that we can file and sign them off as the minutes of our meetings? Honored members, just to formalize them and MA?
Yep. Chairperson,
Yes, honored member.
I take it as read. I think we have all read the minutes.
Yes. Okay, that's a mover. Any second, honored members?
Chairperson? I second, Deputy
Okay.
Speaker.
Okay, who is seconding?
Mamfanta.
Mamfanda is seconding. Any third possible?
Yes, Chairperson, I rise to be the third one, to third.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any matters arising from the minutes, Mr. Nechitumbu, Advocate, that you highlighted?
There is none, Chair. Everything is covered in the presentation because it's a question of this one was a program, whatever, and then we have covered in the programming.
Okay. There being the case, honored members, I will request that the presentation can start to flow, and he will talk over it. And because of the virtual situation we are in, I will allow him to make a presentation of the entire document, and hopefully that you will also take note of the activity so that we discuss at the tail end of the presentation. Advocate?
Thank you, Chair. The presentation is also on the screen. I will deal with 1 week after the other. The first week is the week which is current, that is 11 to 15 May. Starting from today, this is the meeting that is taking place of programming and the Women Caucus meeting immediately after this one. And on Friday, we're going to have the Public Participation and Petitions Committee to consider the petitions. And this week is then closed. The following week is the week of 18 to 22. It is also on the screen. On Monday, there is a portfolio committee on finance. That meeting is going to consider the mandate on the division of revenue bill. It is taking place on Monday. It has been approved by the chief whip of the legislature. Still on Monday, we have a briefing by the premier to leaders of political parties, but we must say we are waiting for a further instruction whether that briefing should take place on a Monday or whether we should pull it back to Sunday. You will recall that the previous decision was that this meeting must take place every Monday at 3 o'clock, but there was a request last week that it must take place on Sunday. So we will wait for instruction, and if it is going permanently to Sunday, we will then pull it back to Sunday. And then we're going to have the CWP. What is important is on the 19th, we have as a matter that is arising from the minutes. The 19th of May, we have programmed it for party caucuses. That is why I'm saying the matters arising are in the program. And then on the 20th of May, we're going to have a review of rules workshop. That workshop is going to take place virtually. Among the rules that will be considered by the review of rules subcommittee will be the virtual rules themselves, you will recall that they have been provisionally adopted and they are falling to go to the rules committee for final adoption. NCOP negotiating mandate on the division of revenue bill will also be done on that day. It will be done virtually. We had provisionally programmed planning session for committees. However, after interacting with the management of committee section, they are of the view that it will not be possible to have the planning session virtually. They would rather delay it and see how the COVID preparation goes, so that it is their preference that it must rather be done physically due to the interaction that is needed. So we will remove that on the 21st of May. And then on the 22nd of May, it will be the ad hoc committee on money bills. This meeting, the ad hoc committee will be briefing all members of the legislature on the bill, on the money bills amendment and related procedures bill which they are considering, and that then close the week. The week of 25 to 29 May, 25 May is Africa Day, but we have no activity that we have got up to so far. And then 26 May is a plenary. This plenary, in the last program, we presented it and we said it would take place on the 19th. However, many departments have not yet finalized amending their policy speech and their annual performance plans and their strategic plans. And that is why we have shifted the plenary to the 26th. This plenary will do the following. We'll receive budgets and policy speeches from MSCs, and it will also have a debate on Africa Day, taking into account that Africa Day is a day before. And then we're going to have the Rules Committee the following day, coupled with the final mandate on division of revenue bill, which will also be done virtually. Now that the policy speeches would have been tabled on the 26th of May, we have programmed 28 and 29 May for study groups. The intention here is that before we even start considering budget votes, there must have been meetings of study groups so that it will shorten the processes in the portfolio committee meeting. So that is for 28 and 29 May. It is in fact the resolution of this committee that study groups must be programmed before any major consideration of the business of the legislature, so that much work would have been shortened. And then in June, the whole month of June, we have set it aside for the consideration of budget votes, but by portfolio committees. So those are the meetings that are going to take place on the 1 to 5 June, which is the first week. But the 1st of June, briefing by Premier to leaders of political parties, I have already spoken to that, that we might change that date. The virtual briefing on National Forest Amendment Bill, which is going to take place on the 2nd of June, and then 3, 4, and 5 June will be portfolio committees and standing committee on law review, closing the week on the 5th. The week of 8 to 12, we have put HRD in the morning, and then we're going to have social needs cluster and governance on the 9th, and on the 10th, which is a Wednesday, we're going to have the legislature oversight as well as special programming. And on the 11th, we will have economic growth cluster and SCOPA. On the 12th, we'll then have a governance. We proceed to the week of 15 to 19. The week of 15 to 19 is very short. In that 15 is a Monday, 16 is a public holiday. So we have 3 days to work on. 2 days, taking into account 17 is a Wednesday, which can only be used by legislature and oversight committee since it's a cabinet day. 18 and 19, then we're going to have social needs and economic growth. And then we go to the next week, the week of 22 to 26, social needs on Tuesday, which is the whole day, and 24 is a Wednesday, is LOC and special programs. 25 is public participation and governance. 26 is, on this 26, it will be the important meeting. The portfolio committee on finance will be meeting all chairpersons. Consider the appropriation bill 2020. That is a normal meeting. That is a culmination of all, after all the consideration of budget votes. Then the following week, we will be entering July. The first, the 30th will be Scopa, and then 1 to 3 July, which is Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we will be tabling money bills, amendment procedures, and related matters. It will be introduced, and then questions for oral reply, and then consideration of committee reports relating to appropriation bill, and the week will then be closed. 8th of July, which is a matter arising from the minutes, is a Women's Caucus Day of Accountability. You will recall that we had programmed it earlier, but that meeting had to be cancelled after the bus accident, which happened somewhere in the former Transkei, and then the subcommittee on law review on the 9th of July, and that takes care of the next 3 months, which is May, June, and July. The last slide is just a summary of it's now on the screen. It's just a summary of the meeting that we have allocated for each portfolio committee and the dates thereto. And then the last slide is the one that says thank you very much, Chairperson. That's all.
Thank you very much, Advocate. Thank you very much. Honourable members, I think you have heard the presentation. Mr. Nchutumbu, for purposes of discussion, can you go back to the first month of May so that the commentary will be based on the visual? Honourable members, I invite your comments. Are there issues that would like to highlight so that they can be amended before we adopt the program?
Chairperson Marshall.
Okay, let me take the names first. Honourable Broken Rota 1, number 2.
Venya.
Good morning.
Number
Good morning,
3,
Honourable
Pongo.
Honourable Pongo. Okay.
Yes.
Magashela, Fihlan. Hey,
Unembongi.
ngiyabhala umlando okubhalwa kuyo awujongi umlando.
Oh, okay.
Ndibhale umlando.
Ndiyayibona laa nto iphaphezela. Okay, fine. Then any fifth person?
Ubhukishe nje ufihlane just in case.
In case Malibali.
Mtsotsi Manyathi, Mtsotsi.
Thank you very much. Honourable Broken Roda.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chairperson, I want to start off with Monday, the 18th of May. I just want to again, in the minutes, it's clear that I've cautioned this committee not to schedule a meeting on a Monday because of it being set aside for political activities and constituency work. Again, the rule is very clear that the chief will consult with political parties. This doesn't happen, so I want to caution us again that Monday the 18th, we'll have to relook at that because it's going to be impractical for political parties to participate in a meeting while it's constituency day. Then, Chair, another one, I don't see I don't see multi-party working being scheduled even before the 26th. And it's a norm that it should be part and parcel of this program because there's a plenary sitting on the 26th. NCOP dates also, Chairperson, I think, to my knowledge, there is some dates that is missing. So maybe the officers can brief us as to is this all a comprehensive dates from the NCOP. Then the briefing date or day of the Premier to political leaders. We have of the firm view that this should be on a Monday because Sunday is a bit of a difficult day. So we want to put that to the program committee. Then Chairperson, the last one is, again, just as a note, I've raised it at this meeting, the last meeting, that questions are not been answered, IQPs have not been published. I want us to have a look at to schedule a special sitting of plenary in order to deal with all outstanding questions. It's now to the tune of 201 questions from the Democratic Alliance. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Honorable Mvenya.
Good morning, honorable members. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. If I ask anything that has been explained already, please forgive me, Honorable Chair. I had glitches connecting. There was no volume until I called IT Mr. Sauli to assist me. So I don't know whether no. I want to talk on issues of SCOPA meetings. The first one, Mr. Netsutumbu said on the 30th of June, there is SCOPA, but here it's written Finance Committee, Finance Briefing, all chairpersons. There is no SCOPA there on the 30th. So if that is a mistake, can he clarify that so that we know that we've got that slot or not? Then the second issue, Chair, that I want to raise regarding SCOPA is the fact that there is no way that we can hold SCOPA meetings virtual. There is no way. We can't. So I want to check whether when we hold our meetings, will it be possible for SCOPA to find a bigger space? Maybe we use the house so that we are able to conduct our work properly, Chair. Because we can't. We have to sit with the departments when we consider their documents. So that's my first question regarding that. Then the second one, which is not different from this one, the first one. When we can't get that opportunity of having a meeting with bigger space, Chair, is it possible that we take our slots and move them to level 2, if I may put it that way? If level 2 will allow us to hold meetings with premises, Chair. If that is allowed, can we then just use the 2nd of June? Hey, there's a lot that I'm talking about, Chair. I hope you are not getting confused. On the 2nd, we'll have a slot. If we are going to move our slots because of lockdown to another date or to other dates, all our slots, but we given only one slot so that we are able to have a virtual meeting with the committee members only. What we cannot have is a meeting with other departments or with departments. We can't. So that's my proposal, Chair. Proposing, not knowing whether this was discussed or not earlier. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. Thank you very much, Honorable Mvenya. Honorable Ponyo.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Morning, and honorable members. Chairperson, let me start by welcoming the presentation by Innocent. My first question, Chairperson, or my question is that are we not supposed to convene study groups before the tabling of the policy speeches? Because I can see that here, the program, study group will be convened after the established policy speeches. That's my question, Chairperson. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Makashela.
Thanks, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Good morning to everyone.
Morning.
My appreciation of the presentation and my apologies for typing into that smaller Nyana box. Yes, my issue, Chair, is around what has just been raised. In fact, all my points have just been touched. It has to do more with the convening of the Finance Portfolio Committee on a Monday. That which has been raised by Honorable Van Bochen Roden. We will, after the meeting, talk about it later. But the meeting time that we have agreed upon, it's 8:30 for 10 to 10, so that we allow for other processes to unfold. It's not 10, it's not vice versa. It's 8:30 that we have spoken about. Yes, I just want that time to be corrected so that if they will not fit in that period, then they would then relook at their program. But that is the time that we agreed upon, that it must be early. Point 2, the party briefings on with the premier. We have agreed that that slot must be kept there. It doesn't necessarily mean it will have to be the premier, but as and when there's pressing issues that we feel as political parties we must look into. But that doesn't take away the role of the multi-party whip and so on. But we felt we must keep that slot for as long as we're still confronting the COVID-19 pandemic, so that as and when we feel there is a need, but we keep that slot just as it is appearing. My other issue, Chair, is the issue of study group. Just in agreement with Honorable Pong that we felt there will be study group so that we get to at least look at issues before we get to the plenary. I just want to check because I'm just seeing in the program
study group.
all that has to do with the program of the exco. I was checking if all departments have then submitted their program so that we avoid unnecessary clashes and whilst we had time to bring into the attention of the programming. All that would be a program. Asifune zanto zabantu abathu benento beseyi-pre-arranged. We wanted just to check that if all have been submitted by people responsible. Thanks very much, Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Whip. Honorable Deputy Chief Whip, Honorable Fihlani, can you sweep?
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Good morning, everybody. Just
morning.
to a clarity on the Triple P program in Joe Qabi. Is it virtually or is it physically? That clarity on that program, because we were told that all meetings are virtual. The other issue, Chair, is just to touch on the issue, if I can touch on this issue that has been raised by Honorable Mvenya or regarding to SCOPA. I think we have to be ready ourselves that these programs will take, this is our new normal, the issue of virtual. And the issue, there are matters that has to be concluded. I'm not sure if we've done that, Honorable Mvenya, with SCOPA before we finalize the issue of budget. So, but officials can assist us on that one so that at least we can lift that one. They will deal with the issue of the expenditure. I'm not sure, but there's one issue that you have to deal with before you finalize budget. So at an administrative level, you can assist us on that one so that, especially that one that will deal with the provincial expenditure and what, so that we finalize. But it means if we still have to finalize that one before we deal with budget, we will sit virtually. And the issue of what the president pronounced yesterday, that other provinces will remain in a certain level, others going to another level. I think we are also culprits of those levels that will remain in certain levels. So I cannot also, and I think this issue will take long to another phase due to as challenges as in. So I'm saying our new normal, we have to squeeze in from this challenge because we're still not allowed to have meetings that are physical. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Can we go to the next month, if anything? Let's go to June so that you respond in the whole picture and suggestions. Advocate, can you move? Ms. Adamans? Okay. Here is our month of June, honored members. If we remain with similar comments, it's fine, but as long as you can also make your points here, if they are twisted times, like Chief Whip corrected, are you fine with what you see from the 15th to the 19th?
Chairperson?
We are fine, Chair.
Yes. Okay.
Chairperson?
Yes. Yes.
Can I please take you? Can I please
Yes.
take you back? The plenary of the 26th, there's no time slot there. Can we maybe be informed what
Okay.
time? Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Sure. That is the month of May.
Yes, Chair.
Okay. We are fine with June. We can proceed to June, July. Okay. I think we've seen, yeah.
I
We're
think
fine
our
with this
comments
slide
were
also.
on the whole
We're capturing
program,
this.
Chair.
Oh, I see. Okay, next page. All right. That's fine. I think the officials, there are comments that you're supposed to make on Monday's meetings, especially the meeting of the 18th, as Honorable Brockenroder indicated, the multi-party week. Has that been factored in, and COP, are these dates the final ones, as well as briefings on Mondays? I think this must be decided by us as members here. Special sitting of the plenary to consider questions, can that be also considered going forward? And the indication that there is no time indicating the last comment that Honorable Brockenroder is making. The second issue is the SCOPA meetings versus finance briefings. I think that must be clarified now. It's not indicating, I think, SCOPA in particular. Virtual meetings by SCOPA impossibilities, can House be considered possible? And that we must decide and make a determination now. So that we are clear. I heard the comments by the Deputy Chief Whip. The study group be reviewed so that they can conform with the presentation of budgets. Are they after or before? I think that was the essence, as well as finance on Monday. And the issues of new normal. Can you indicate responses to this? Okay. And your team.
Thank you, Chair. I think most of the questions by Honorable von Buchenroder have been answered by the Chief Whip, especially the one relating to the 18th of May. I think we will correct that one and put it at the right time, 8:30 to 10. Ms. Hermans has already done that. The NCOP dates, are they comprehensive? Yes, they are comprehensive up to yesterday. So as NCOP gives us the dates, we factor them in the program. But the difficulty with the NCOP is that immediately after this meeting, they might give you the new dates. But if they do that, we will communicate. But as far as yesterday, these dates are comprehensive. The plenary, we are proposing that it must take place at 10 because of the volume of work that needs to be done. So many policy speeches for all the departments must. I think the Chief Whip also covered the Monday meeting briefing to political parties, and then I come to the questions by Honorable Benya. The date of SCOPA, is it do they definitely have the 26th, the 30th of June? Yes, they definitely have the 30th of June. We have swapped SCOPA and finance and put finance in 26 and then SCOPA on the 30th of June. So that date is definitely there. Is it possible? It is not possible to hold meetings virtually. I think the Deputy Chief Whip has answered that question. relating to the new normal. I think I have nothing to add. The study groups before the tabling of policy speeches. What we have done here, but I'm taking the suggestion by Honorable Bono, is that on the 19th of May, we have given that day to political parties for party caucuses and so on. And then we again gave them additional 2 days for study groups. So if they want to have a sitting before the policy speeches are tabled, the 19th of May is available and so on. And then preparing for the sittings of the portfolio committees themselves, because you will see that in the past, we would have given portfolio committees 6, 7, 8 meetings because they were sitting physically. But now we have given them 3, 4 meetings, and because they are sitting virtually. So we want those meetings to be as short as possible. And then coming to the questions of Honorable Chief Whip, in fact, Chief Whip did most of his questions were answers to the difficult questions that were posed, except whether the departments have submitted programs. Yes, what we have done, we phone every department and say, submit your program, submit your program. Those departmental officials who are connected here will know that we have phoned and emailed them in preparation of these meetings, and those who have submitted, we have captured, but there will be those that we found that did not respond, and then we assume that they have nothing that they have programmed up to that particular time. The Triple P program, all the meetings that we have scheduled, them virtually, all of them. So that includes a Triple P. It might be that there is a typo there where perhaps it was initially supposed to be held in Jotavi, and then when we remove it and make it virtually, we did not delete. I will follow it up on the actual program. If there is a mistake, we will correct it. But I must emphasize, all the meetings will be held virtually until something change. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Advocate. Honourable members, those were the responses at the matter that you feel strongly about.
Yes, Chair.
Okay, follow up, Chair.
Okay. All right. Honourable Venya, Honourable Broken Roder, in that order.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I am not happy with the response regarding my SCOPA issues, Chair. I used the word proposal, knowing very well that there are rules or there are regulations for lockdown. Hence, I use the word proposal. Secondly, I proposed because of the meeting that presented to us a plan for the use of the premises. And that meeting was Deputy Chief Whip's meeting where a plan was presented. And that plan suggested that there are committees that can sit there. And there was a plan about fumigation and the number of people that can occupy the premises. So I'm moved from that, Chair. So I'm not happy with the response. Can I get a proper response?
All right. Honourable members, let me advise as follows on the question of special house sittings that have been raised. I suggest that let's refer the matter to be considered by the multi-party whip, and then we shall get guidance from that end, because it's a matter that we cannot concretely agree with it in this particular platform. This is just programming. I think the whip members and the chief whip himself and the deputy are here. I would like that this matter be considered at that level with other political parties. Then we get the guidance from that end. I think let's put it to rest in that way. Honorable Van Brockenrode.
Chair, the issue of the 18th or Monday morning meeting or Monday meeting, even it's 8:30. The rules are very clear under Rule 20.2 that no meeting except for the approval from the Chief Whip. But then further in the rule book, it says very clear that the Chief Whip will consultation with other political stakeholders. Now, Chairperson, that's the only day that we can put aside for political activities. So I'm appealing to this body or this committee that we have to relook at that portfolio committee being held on a Monday, please. Because really, that's the only day that we can utilize for our constituency work and political activities. Thank you.
Okay. Honorable Chief Whip, you don't have a comment? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, can I check you, Honorable Magashela, then Honorable Fisani? I hear your
No,
voices.
thanks, Deputy Speaker. No. I wanted to agree with the proposal that the guidance that you are giving, that the issue of committees sitting maybe where in terms of the house or virtual must then be subjected to the multi-party so that at least we give guidance in that regard. And secondly,
Yes.
the issue to do with the Monday meetings, I earlier proposed that we deal with it outside the meeting, myself and the political parties.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I wanted
I
to
think
suggest. Then I have made a suggestion in that what is this thing? That little corner they have written something that must be subjected to the multi-party consideration. The issue to do with what's this thing?
Yes, I've
The
noted
issue
that.
with the special house sitting on questions, the 200 and something questions. So that proposal by Honorable Van Bochenroden on the dealing with the questions and special house sitting, I advise that it be subjected to the consideration of the multi-party party, same as the sitting of the portfolio committees and fumigation and what have you. Then all those we deal with them in that regard. Then third, the last one is the issue that I've just spoken about, the issue to do with the Monday meetings. We understand the trust of the premise where Marshall comes from. Then we will deal with it outside the meeting. Can I suggest that? Thanks very much, Honorable.
Thank you very much. Deputy Chief Whip, anything to add?
Oh, I'm covered. I'm sorted.
You are covered. Thank you very much. Advocate?
We covered.
You are covered as well.
Yes.
Honourable members, with those
Chair,
amendments
sorry,
and suggestions.
Chair.
Yes,
Excuse me, Chair. When are we going to get a response from that group that is going to sit? Because I'm directly affected, Chair.
You mean multi-party?
Yes, because we need to get that answer.
Okay. I think now that the proposal is made here, can we then allow the processes of that meeting convenership to unfold instead of placing a timeline as this structure now? Because I don't think it would be appropriate to say they must meet on Monday. It's not our competence to do that for now. But let's accept the condition that some of the considerations must be referred to multi-party. I know some of the new redetermination that has been proposed will also need the Rules Committee, as you know, including the status report of the internal arrangement so that we know exactly whether everything that's supposed to happen within the environment of the legislature, fumigation, sanitizing of the space, and everything related thereto is also well considered. All those structures will give then a feedback so that we can schedule meetings upon them being agreeing on the way forward. I think here is the Chief Whip indicating, so I think the officers relevant will determine the dates and times. Are we not fine with that? Honorable Mbenya?
Yes, Chair. I'm worried because my SCOPA meetings are starting on the 2nd of June.
Okay.
That's why
Okay,
I'm
okay.
concerned, Chair,
No, no,
about
I get you.
time.
I get you. Fine. We will take that into consideration. Honored members, I put the whole program for adoption and a mover and seconder.
I move for the adoption. Chair.
Thank you. Any seconder?
I second it.
I second, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Makashela. But why are you laughing? Thank you, honorable members.
I wanted to propose first, but I got
Okay. Advocate, are there announcements to be made before we close the meeting?
No, Chair.
No announcements.
No.
Thank you very much. The honored members, I think that is taking care of our session today. And thank you very much for your participation, for your concrete and constructive submissions. And I think all matters will be reconsidered. If there are new amendments, it's not a problem to reissue the program with those amendments so that members of this committee at least are well abreast about the issues that will come and unfold going forward. Those that were listening or but having not contributed, I think your participation is felt as well in your silence. It's not a problem. Surely next time we will hear your voices. I think this is now the end of our programming meeting. Thank you very much. It is adjourned until further notice.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Secretariat.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair.
Chief